Welcome to Search Talk Live with search engine optimization and marketing experts Robert O'Haver and Caleb McKelvin, powered by the Robert Palmer family of companies.
Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Search Talk Live. I'm your host, Robert O'Haver. With me is Caleb McKelvin. Caleb, sorry you don't get the clap.
Man, it's not just for me anymore. It's for everybody. That stinks. Robert, how you doing today, man?
Good, man. Really excited. We have a great show today.
Yes.
We have had just an amazing year, and we're on episode 53, 53 now.
Yep.
Wow.
We just passed our year mark.
Yeah, that's
once again, thank you for everybody who's been supporting us for the past year.
Yeah.
Welcome all of our new listeners. Thank you for joining us. You are in for a special treat today, as you are every week.
Yes, and those of you just tuning in for the first time, Search Talk Live is a digital marketing podcast radio show. We're on the radio and we're in the podcast world.
Mm-hmm.
But we talk everything to do with digital marketing, whether it be talking about tools that professionals can use, social media, search engine optimization, content marketing. We cover it all.
Right.
Even pay-per-click.
Right.
We both dabble in both of it on a daily basis.
Yeah, we do it all the time. That's the thing. We love it. We live it. We breathe it. This is our daily lives as well as the show. But yeah, we cover everything. I highly advise, if you haven't listened to many episodes or if you've missed some episodes, go to searchtalklive.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out our past shows. The guest we've had is amazing. I honestly don't know how we keep topping it every single week, but somehow we continue to do so. But we got everything for you, no matter what you want to learn, what you're interested in, where you want to expand your online marketing knowledge. We have it, so go check it out.
Yes, and I also suggest that you go to our website, sign up for our mailing list.
Yeah.
We send out tweets and special offers, all kinds of stuff that just to kind of give you a heads up on what's coming show-wise and all that good stuff. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio. Yep. We're on SoundCloud, Spreaker, iTunes, the Play Store, Amazon, Android for the Play Store. We're everywhere.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. But today, our guest is the founder of SpyFu, one of my most favorite tools that I use because it covers soup to nuts, really. And with us today is Michael Roberts. Michael.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, man.
Super happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so those are people that don't know much about you. Can you give us a little background on yourself?
Well, sure. I mean, before I started SpyFu, I had another software company, and back in that time, the Google AdWords had just kind of come out, and so I was trying to get into that, and I had a few competitors, and I was like, I wonder if any of them are buying any keywords that I haven't thought of, and so I sort of put together this really quick thing overnight. Or took 5 days or whatever, and we were able to see our stuff, so we launched it. We released it on Wall Street Journal, and kind of the rest is history in a sense. It's sort of like lots of people really seem to like it, so we kind of built that into the business.
Wow. And you have any SEO background, or you just?
Well, I mean, I kind of do now. I'm kind of an expert, but when I started, I really didn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Really then, I mean, I built an off-the-shelf, or a perpetual license software. Basically, it's called Web Scraper Plus, and it would take something off of a web page, you could scrape eBay and put it into a spreadsheet, and. My version of SEO then was, loading it up into download.com and using seeding it with keywords and stuff, which was actually kind of state of the art. But now, obviously, I talk about SEO and content marketing on the stage at industry events and stuff like that.
Nice.
And we obviously show people all kinds of things. So I've become an expert for sure over the last 10 or 12 years.
Yeah. Now, Michael, we were talking just before the show, and you brought up a really great topic, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it before we get into SpyFu, and that's the changes that we're seeing with the keyword planner tool and keyword research changes.
AdWords.
Yeah. So do you want me to lead into it? Do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So recently, Google has. It used to be that you could create an account in AdWords, and whether or not you had like an actual active campaign, put in your credit card, or were actively running a campaign in AdWords, you would still be able to access their planning tool, which is Keyword Planner. It used to be called Google Keyword Tool. A few years ago, they changed over to Keyword Planner. Anyway, so now they've sort of shut off kind of an important aspect of it for SEOs, because obviously there's SEOs that are doing AdWords campaigns, but I'd say that maybe at least half of SEOs aren't, people that are engaged in SEO aren't actually doing AdWords campaigns. So They're logged in to the Keyword Planner, and one of the key metrics that you want to get is search volume. So what Google has done is they've basically made it so that you're going to get a really, really broad range on a keyword. So you put in a keyword and it'll say, well, you're going to get the number of searches per month is somewhere between 1,000 and 100,000. And whereas they used to tell you, well, it's 5,500.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's a broad range.
Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure what the motivation is, but it's a new development in that space. So the trick to getting around it, of course, is to create some active AdWords account. That's one way of going about it, or to use somebody else's active AdWords account, meaning they have an actual advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we're still able to get the data. I'm sure that there's other people that are still able to get the data, but you kind of have to look for alternate sources now for search volume data.
Yeah.
Because Google's kind of giving 2 bits of information.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird, isn't it? Right? It's like
it is.
It's like, to be honest with you, the Google AdWords, the Google Keyword Planner has always been like not perfectly accurate data. In fact, it's probably our least accurate form of data, and it makes coming up with things like a domain's AdWords budget, or like how much traffic we think somebody's getting to their site. It makes that process really complicated.
Sure.
Because what we're getting is not very consistent good data from them, and it never really has been.
Yeah, it's kind of like the cable guy. I'll be there between 7 and 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. That's right.
Big, wide, broad area.
Right.
But,
yeah. So in a sense, it's not necessarily a sky is falling event. They're basically just making it so that instead of getting like a range that's kind of like got a spread of like they'd give you something, then it would be like that 5,500 searches per month example. It probably was somewhere between 4,000 and 8,000, and now they're giving you a range that's much broader, like 1,000 to 100,000. So it makes it pretty difficult, but we weren't necessarily starting in an amazing place anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it's doing? It's making you spend more money,
right?
Because you're going with the broadest, and trying to find that target.
Yeah. So create an active AdWords account. If you have an active AdWords account, or somebody with an active AdWords account, you're probably fine. We'll continue to provide the data. Probably various other people in the industry will continue to provide the data. It'll be all right. But it's an interesting development. Kind of making that whole thing a little less transparent.
Right.
Sure. And it's good to have an AdWords account anyway, because you're going to find out what keywords are converting and all that good stuff. But
yeah, what do you guys think about that? Do you tend to start out with a paid campaign and work your way to an SEO, or what do you guys specialize in actually?
I do them in tandem. I mean, I get a pretty good idea after. I mean, I use several different tools to get my big picture there, but the overall, I run both. I'll run a campaign and say, if these guys have a budget for that campaign, obviously. But I'll run that campaign, and that way I can definitely just legitimize what I found in my data. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually tell customers to at least start with an AdWords campaign so that you at least know what's going to convert for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you find your successful keywords in AdWords, then spend the time strategically to get yourself ranked on those keywords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the reality is that you get more clicks from the organic section of the page. Sure. Like, the ads are good and such, but you kind of want to, if you have like really good keywords that are really winning for you, you want to dominate the whole page.
Yeah. And the other thing too is Google's 3-pack is kind of pushing things down too on local search. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere really.
Yeah.
They have 4-packs, don't they?
Yes, both, I think.
Four ads at the top of the page. I believe.
Well, no, I'm talking about local Google My
Business. I know what you mean. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. So let's dive into. You're probably well-diversed on SpyFu.
I've heard I'm an expert on it.
Right. Now, I want you to give a little kind of an overview of SpyFu, what it is and what it does. I mean, there's so many tools in here that, I mean, for what you charge it's a very good value.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yeah. I mean, from anything from white label reporting for SEO or PPC. I mean, you guys cover it all.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, well, we have been developing on it actively. So we've been continually improving it for like the last 10 years. So it's a pretty mature tool. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we're actively building out, we're building out something right now we call My SpyFu, mm-hmm. Which is sort of like your project management area where you can collect keywords and track them, and you can collect like backlinks, and we'll mine the contacts and stuff like that for you. Mm-hmm. And that's a part of the product that's actively under development, meaning we're doing like releases every week. Mm-hmm. But at a high level, you can go to SpyFu and type in any website and see every keyword that they've ever bought on Google. You can see every ad variation that they've ever run. You can see every organic ranking that they have or have had anytime over the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. And that historical component is actually really important, and it's a key differentiator for us, because the reality is that most people will make a mistake in the very beginning of their campaigns, right?
Yeah.
And what you want to be able to do is see that mistake, see that they were buying these keywords or running these ads, and watch them change, mm-hmm. right? Because you want to avoid those same mistakes yourself. And your competitors, we're not necessarily, it's always really, there's like this almost carnal urge to look at that guy that's like, that you just don't like, that you want to crush.
Yeah.
And those guys that maybe they're like across the street from you or whatever, and and you just don't like them, and you want to crush those guys. But and that's one kind of competitor. But the other kind of competitor is the one that you admire and that you feel like you can learn from. And oftentimes those are the ones that are the most important to dial into, the ones that you can emulate. And so we try to get people to think about competitors as not necessarily people that you want to absolutely crush, but also people that are just similarly in your space that you can learn from. So you look at those guys and you see the things that they did and the tweaks and the changes that they made potentially to the structure of their campaign, the mm-hmm. content on their website. What did they do to squeeze out the most conversions and have a successful campaign? And having that history is really important. So let me give you a quick example.
Okay.
Well, for 99+% of campaigns, mm-hmm. we have of domains of advertisers on Google and whatever, we have their entire history, meaning we have the very first ad that they ever ran. Like as an example, we for Groupon.com, right? We've been collecting data for 4 years longer than they've been a company. So you can see the very first ad that they ran, which was on like Daily Deals, maybe Chicago or something, Daily Deals. Mm-hmm. And it was potentially written by like the CEO. and then you can see the second ad that they ran, the B and then the C and then the D and the E and the F, all the way through like I believe X or so. So they've run like 24, 25 different variations on a single keyword, and you can see the B beating the A, and then the B losing to, or the B then beating the C, and so on. You can see this whole progression of how they improve their campaign, and you can kind of start from where they're at without having to suffer the consequences yourself.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Like standing on the shoulders of your competition.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's super powerful.
Yeah, no, I've used that a million times, and the keywords, and you're not having to spend all this extra money to find the right keyword. I mean, you're looking at the data right there, the historic data.
Yeah, it's absolutely very valuable information because, like you said, we all go through these progressions, and some can really kind of derail you a little bit. But if you can find out what's working, what's not working, you can avoid those mistakes. That's very powerful, especially when you haven't been doing it for a long time.
Sure.
If you're kind of new to it, there's a lot. Of course, there's trial and error, but you don't want to make so many errors. So this can be very helpful.
Yeah.
Right. So over time, the stuff that we've learned is like, number one, if one of your competitors is doing something that's important, that's interesting. That's a signal, but it's not necessarily, you might be smarter than your competitor, might be smarter than you. We don't really know. Right. But many of your competitors are all doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. They're all, ranking on keywords or buying the same keywords, and not. That's a thing to look at. That's like a very strong signal. And then more importantly, if they've been doing that, month over month and doing it more frequently over time.
I'm sorry, Michael, your connection is getting really bad.
Oh, really?
It's back to normal now.
There we go. It cleared up. It just. There we go. Sorry about that.
The internet.
Yeah.
Where did I cut off? Do you know? Should I just say that again, or
if you don't mind.
Things we've learned. Yeah, no big deal. So what we've learned over 10 years or so of looking at people's campaigns at scale is that when one of your competitors is ranking on or buying a keyword, that's interesting. But we don't necessarily know whether or not they're, you're smarter than them or whatever, right? Who knows? But when many of them are all buying the same keywords or ranking on them and you're not, that's a really strong signal. And if they've been doing that month over month, year after year, they're not going to be losing money doing that, right? Because you don't just continually lose money month over month. People will waste money on AdWords, but they don't waste a lot of money for a long time.
Yeah.
So you can kind of, if you look at the data at scale, and that's what we do for you. If you look at the data at scale, you can really mine out like exactly what is profitable just by eliminating the things that are clearly not. And so what we found over time is that we can actually just say, here's the right answer. These are the things that you need to focus on.
Right.
These are the keywords that you should be buying that you're not. These are the ones conversely that you are buying that you should be negative matching on. And here's how much money it'll save you and so on. So we have like these reports, that are also that run really deep. They run this really strong, analytics on stuff. Mm-hmm. And it says, give me advice. They're actually called one's called AdWords Advisor. So it's like, give me the advice that I need to actually improve my existing campaign or start a new one. So we kind of move in that direction. Rather than saying, here's the research, you do it all, we're moving in the direction of saying, here's our best insight for you. Here's our opinion, our recommendations for you.
Yeah, and I don't want to jump ahead or anything, but one of my favorite things that you have on SpyFu is Combat. That is just amazing. I mean, I don't know how I can explain this on the radio, but it gives a graph and it gives you circles of your competition. Like you're a circle, and then your two other. I'll let you explain.
No, sure, no. That goes to exactly what I was just talking about there, right? Well, like you want to look at there's important points in like a Venn diagram, right? So so in the case where you're one of those, you can basically say, I want to put in, I want to look at my domain versus my two biggest competitors' domains, and best competitors, right? You put those guys in there, and what you can see are the keywords that they're ranking on or that they're buying, and you're not.
Yeah.
You can also see all the things that you're buying that neither of them are.
Right.
And those are two important areas to look at, because what we learned is that if all of your competitors are buying the same keywords month after month, year after year, and you're not, those are really important areas to look at. Right. And this AdWords Advisor thing actually uses Combat, but like Combat has like a really great visual, and it's actually a really, really powerful tool, and a lot of people love it. And we use that same science in essence to drive the automated reports. We just use instead of two competitors, we use like 6 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all that stuff is really sound. It's actually based in sort of like market economics and how people how markets behave. It works out really well.
Yeah, I mean it saves a lot of time because there's a visual component to that, and I really like that. And you can just click on that, and it gives you that variation of keywords that everybody's equally bidding on or trying to rank for, which is fantastic.
Right. You can also sort of cut to the chase really fast. And find because you just put in 3, like maybe you're going into a new space. Maybe you're like, you're going to do like LED lighting or something like that. You just find the 3 biggest competitors in that space, and you can see the things that they're all on, and then you know what to focus on immediately.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you played around with the grouping, keyword grouping much?
Yes, I have. That's an awesome thing too. I would say it's better than what Google has as far as grouping the themed keywords.
Yeah, it's pretty handy because that thing is also now integrated into the My SpyFu stuff that I was talking about. So one of the things that I'll be honest with you, I find it really difficult to like just go through and find a bunch of keywords and do all the organization and then like start tracking them. I mean, I really want to do it, but it can take a lot of time.
Sure.
And it's kind of hard if you're a lazy person like me to just be like, okay, I am going to spend the next day. And for us, for SpyFu, we're looking at like a keyword universe, of keywords that we would want to rank on in the 2,500 or so range. It's not enormous. We rank on a lot more keywords, but the stuff that that we really want to rank on is like SEO reports and keyword research tool and stuff like that. And then there's a whole bunch of variants of those. With this, but what you want to do is organize these groups of keywords into you want to organize this mass of keywords into groups. You kind of like focus them around, I don't know, people have called them like golden keywords or like core keywords.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are like essentially for us, like keyword tool would be like, kind of a nice roll up keyword. It's going to get a few thousand, near 10,000 clicks a month or so, or searches a month. So we want to structure the overall content marketing campaign around those core keywords.
Yeah.
But then you want to track the long tail of those variations. You want to see yourself on the long tail of those variations. Well, for me, I was always totally fine like figuring out what those core keywords are.
Yeah.
But adding in those long tail ones was I don't know, too much work for me or something. I'm too lazy. So I'd always be tracking like 50 keywords when I should be tracking about 2,500.
Yeah, and I mean, if those of you that are listening that are actual, you do ad campaigns and ad groups and stuff like that, this is fantastic because just like Michael was saying, this groups everything for you. And you can, I'm a stickler. I go through it anyway, but for the most part, you guys are pretty spot on and as far as grouping those keywords.
Yeah, we just use like the words, right? So you'll get, like, so if I want something that's focused on keyword tool or competitor research, it's basically going to have those words in it, and then it just sort of like long tails it out. So the thing is that there's now we now have like a button, and I just find this button to be super handy. You can add the whole group over into our My SpyFu areas, and then it automatically starts tracking everything and giving you roll-ups as how your ranks changed on that group of keywords. Yeah. It's basically been transformational for me. I actually use it all the time. And of course we're gonna, because it's so useful, we're kind of building more aspects of the tool around that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it. If you're just tuning in, of course, you're listening to Search Talk Live. We are joined by special guest, the CEO and founder of SpyFu, Michael Roberts. We're talking about the tool and everything else SEO. If you'd like to get a question in, you can do so through Twitter using hashtag SearchTalkLive, or you can email Robert or myself, Robert at Search Talk Live, Caleb at Search Talk Live. And if you missed any part of the show, of course, afterwards, you can go check it out on searchtalklive.com. Get your questions in. We are sponsored by the Robert Palmer family of companies. You can go to robertpalmercompanies.com, check out everything that they have to offer.
Yeah, so let's see, where are we at here?
Yeah, back to the show. I got a question here, Michael. Of course, link building, backlinks, that's something that, is kind of my forte. There's a lot of tools out there that don't do it very well. I think SpyFu kind of does it. They do it very well in helping you in that way. Can you kind of talk to that as far as how this tool can help you in possibly finding link possibilities, prospecting, researching competitors? How can people use that in that sense?
Awesome. Well, thanks for asking that, because I was actually curious whether you guys had seen the backlink product.
Yes, very cool.
Yeah. So I felt like that backlink building has become really scary to a lot of people,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Because most of what you hear about is disavow work, like let's, make somebody messed up everybody's backlink profile. We need to find all the bad backlinks and disavow them.
Right.
And that's kind of all there was. And so what I wanted to do is make a backlink tool that would only recommend safe backlinks for you, right? Yeah. These are you look at your competitors, and you can find the backlinks that they have that you don't. And the thing is that every recommendation that we have is guaranteed to be safe based on this. They're safe because every backlink, we cross-reference it and make sure that it's indexed by Google. So there's nothing that's been banned.
Wow.
And so you can do things like show me all directories, or show me all directory type sites that can drive link equity on this specific keyword, but that are also safe. Yeah. And it'll oftentimes return to you like Better Business Bureau. Better Business Bureau is like a pretty good one
for
a lot of things.
That's legit.
But, but it'll also return a bunch of other stuff that's that ends up working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that's not dangerous but is also relatively easy to get.
Right.
And so I looked at like the main tools out there, Majestic, Ahrefs, Moz. And one thing that I saw was that you put in like a domain, and I put in my own, and I would get just an absolute sea, just a huge amount of backlinks. But there was a lot of duplicates, right? Because they kind of return to you, if there's more than one of the links to the same site on the same page, they'll return that. If there's multiple links on the same site, to yours, they'll return that. And so I found myself always wanting to get rid of all those dupes. So that's the other thing that we did is we're like, well, you're only going to see one distinct link per time. So it's a lot less cluttered. And then the other thing that I found was that I wanted to be able to the links that I was able to get most easily were not the ones where there was a single outbound link, because oftentimes those were just sort of, they're just hard to get. How am I going to get a link from an article that's got like one outbound link? Because they're probably directly linking to it for a reason. But the ones where they're linking to like 2 of my competitors and not me, and there's like 10 links on the page, those are generally going to be pretty easy to get.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be able to sort and filter by that, but I also wanted the default results. I wanted the results to be sort of returned that way. So we sort of weighted things by not just quality, because a lot of people want to sort by quality, and you can sort by quality in the SpyFu tool, but the default sort is by a combination of quality and the ease of getting the link.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely huge. I mean, this tool kind of takes a lot of the what ifs, the legworks, the not, you don't know kind of what you're getting in return. You actually know what you're looking for, what possibilities are out there. That's kind of what I love about it. And like you said, is these are legitimate opportunities that are safe, and you can see really what you should be targeting, because half the time when you're doing link building, maybe you're doing outreach or something like that, and it's not a real possibility for you, but understanding that opportunity is actually there is huge. And so my recommendation is, if you're really high in your link building efforts, this is a tool you should be using, because it's going to help you out find those real possibilities that are actually going to have that return that you need.
So, Michael, I haven't had a chance to use it yet. Does it take into account your competition's links and all that good stuff, and anchor text, that type of stuff?
So what you can do is you can do sort of like a backlink combat kind of thing, right? Okay. So you can say, I want to see only backlink. I want to see backlinks that these competitors have that I don't. So you can do that kind of thing.
Nice.
But probably the most powerful part of the tool is that you can, because remember, we also have like all the, like we have our whole Google index too, right? Like the search results index. So you can type in any keyword. So what we do is we say, type in a keyword. So you put in like LED lighting or something, right? Type in LED lighting into our backlink tool. And what it does is it says, show me like the top 5,000 domains on LED lighting.
I got you.
And then it says, now show me like their combined, like the backlink profile for all 5,000 of those domains, right? So it's like this 5,000 way combat, right? And then show me the ones that they have in common.
Wow.
Because the ones that they have in common would be like the kingmakers, but also the ones that are relatively easy to get. So then it returns that to you, right? And that's it's ridiculously powerful, because those guys are basically going to be ranking on keywords similar to what you're looking for. Well, they're not necessarily going to be ranking on them, but they're going to be linking to people that are ranking on them. So they're basically driving the exact kind of link equity that you need in order to rank on those keywords.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's super powerful. It's and then what's great is that you can take like those links and then you click them and you add them over into this My SpyFu thing, and which is, it's hard to visualize, but it just basically hangs out on the right side of your browser.
Yeah, I see it.
And so then it organizes all the backlinks. And what we do is we go out and we get all the contact information that we can possibly find. Their Twitter account, their email address, everybody that does anything on that website.
Hey-o.
And we just automatically pull that in for you.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's pretty powerful, and it's fully integrated, right? So so the whole outreach process is, you can set, statuses and update notes and do all that stuff right inside the tool.
Heck yeah. If you're wanting to do outreach, if that's a big part of your business, which I've had to do for a long time, having that kind of information pulled for you, because I've made spreadsheet upon spreadsheet upon spreadsheet upon spreadsheet, and it's a major headache having something where it just pulls it for you. Man, that's a time saver.
And you can export all this too, right?
Yeah. You can definitely export it. And the thing is that, because you can go from like just your keyword search. So like we want to rank on, keyword research tool, right? So, so I would start with like that search, and then basically it's going to tell me who the influencers are at the end of the day. Like, but from the perspective of not like how popular they are on Twitter, but how likely they are to be able to deliver me a link, right? So I can then essentially just create like custom audiences, so there's this like passive aggressive form of link building. And that is, when I publish an article, I'm going to promote it to these people, but I'm going to promote it to them through like advertising channels. Like I could promote it to them through Twitter, like just with a promoted post, and Facebook and so on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have that information, I can do it really, really efficiently. Like it takes one search. Oh, good. I've got like 80 key influencers.
Right.
I'm just going to promote it to them.
Wow.
So make sure they see it.
That is a huge time saver.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then the reporting.
It's kind of a hidden thing. Nobody really knows that we even. I mean, people know that we do it, and we have like a couple thousand people that are active on it. But but it's not like what SpyFu is known for. Download your competitors' keywords and AdWords is our tagline.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the really high-end outreach integration, nobody really has none of the backlink tools have a backlink tool plus like the outreach thing integrated into the thing. And the way we do it's pretty slick.
Yeah, that's pretty legit.
Yeah. The other feature too I wanted to touch on is the white label reporting. I think it's great. I mean, it generates a PDF and it gives you so much information. I don't know if you've seen the report, Caleb.
Yeah.
But just you have to sit down with your client and go over each thing, but it's just a wealth of information.
Are you talking about the recon reports or the PDF? Okay. Oh yeah. So the goal there of the SEO recon reports, and the SEO recon reports are kind of like the they're the sister or whatever of the AdWords Advisor report. So the idea is dive as deep as you can and spend as much like computing to give you the best possible insights on your SEO. But what's unique about our SEO recon reports is that they take the perspective that the SEO is delivering a ridiculous amount of value, and sometimes that value is hard to communicate. And so what we do is one of the most useful things about that product is that it generates these sentences, these paragraphs, and these paragraphs we sort of like use like they're going to describe things in the best possible way, because there's always ways that you can say here's the amount of progress we made, or here's the amount of opportunity that there is.
Right.
But we try a whole bunch of different ways, like computationally, and come up with the best way that shows the most value. So it really is basically designed to sell your SEO services. So number one, you give these to your clients in a pre-sales engagement, but you don't give them theirs. You give them their competitors, so that they can see all the opportunity. You might also generate one for them, but they can see how well their competitors are doing, and so on. People use them in pre-sales all the time. But then once you're delivering the value to the customer, we're going to say, here's all the value that you created last month. Here's all the opportunity that exists, and we say it in the most elegant, and optimistic way.
Yeah.
And furthermore, here's your competitors moving now. Get going. So they're really crafted to be, what would I want to do to put the best possible spin on things? Because not every month is a good month, but every month will be as good as it can possibly be. If you have a bad month, run an SEO recon report, right? Because we're going to put lipstick on a pig, and you don't even necessarily need to use the whole report. Just copy and paste those sentences that we have, because they could save you some clients.
Right.
And then also you have, one thing that I thought was well, we were talking about it before the show was your videos. You have videos that explain those reports, but they're explained in a way. I almost wish you could white label those videos because that would sell your sell services all day long. But
That's
a
a good point.
It was great. But they explain, and you also have live support, the chat, and the person whoever mans that, they do a really good job because I'm constantly asking them questions online. They're very quick to answer. So.
Yeah, and we were talking. You've been a customer since 2007, which is pretty awesome. That's Danielle. So she's like, we're all based right here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and Danielle's office is right next to my office, which is right next to the engineering team, and so things. Any kind of feedback that comes in can rapidly go up, and it can also go down. You know what I mean? Like we can get things solved, and we can get things escalated in it. And it's we have a customer service policy. I don't know if you have heard of our customer service policy. It's actually kind of our general guiding principle, and that is SpyFu, not dicks. And so the idea is that. That no matter what, whether or not you're canceling, and we have a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you're canceling 35 days in or whatever, or you haven't been using the product for the last couple months, you can always call in, and we're gonna treat you right, no matter what.
Yeah.
And Danielle has the latitude. She looks at it. She's like, well, would we be being dicks here? if the answer is yes, then we should not do that, right? So It's a very clean, very easy way for all of us to know exactly how to act.
Yeah. One thing
everybody knows what it's like to be treated like a dick by a company, and we just never do that.
Yeah, and you reminded me the 30-day money-back guarantee. That's strong because who does that?
Not too many companies anymore.
Yeah, and one thing that I want to let our listeners know, because this is an exclusive offer just to our listeners that SpyFu has done for us, and they're giving us 25% off the first 3 months of SpyFu monthly on a SpyFu monthly plan. And their prices are already amazing for what they offer, but there's no reason to check it out. I mean, not to check it out.
Yeah, no, check it out for sure.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, whatever, and or oftentimes what we find is that people need to look at this type of stuff, every few months, and that's totally fine too.
Yeah,
we even have a pause now. You can actually put the account on pause.
Nice.
And it's so you don't get charged for the next couple months.
Yeah, and that's a great. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Having to cancel, just
hit it on pause. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other thing, too, I wanted to mention, that information, a link to get that discount is in the bottom of the description of this show. So wherever you're listening to us at, there should be a description below there that gives you the link.
Yeah, it's I see it. It's bit.ly/search talk spy.
Yes.
I just happen to be looking at it.
Okay. But, that's a great deal, guys. And you can even use it for free, right, to an extent. You can check out the tools, the basic tools, and see what it's all about.
Yeah, that's the thing is that people oftentimes ask us for a free trial, and I'm like, well, the thing is that you can basically it's like you don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to enter a credit card. Type in a site, you're gonna get the thing. Download, things, and you can't.
You're cutting out on us again.
I'm sorry.
Losing connection.
Can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, does it work now?
No, it's cutting out again.
Man, technical difficulties. We hate
I
them.
tell you, the internet.
Yeah, never reliable.
Is it getting better?
Yeah, it's
getting a little better.
Normal.
Oh yeah, okay. So on SpyFu, you've always been able to type in a domain or a keyword or whatever, and see all the results. The only thing you can't do is download them or view more results, right?
Right.
So you can do a lot of research. In fact, every month we have about 250,000 customers that use the site. They use it daily.
Yeah.
But they don't pay us anything for it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
To me, that's
we should probably work on monetizing them, but But like at the end of the day, what I wanted to do was, when I started the company, is I wanted to help, people like me starting a company.
Yeah. I think we lost.
And that's kind of the mission. The value. Did you lose me again?
You're cutting in and out.
It's cutting in and out a little bit.
I think we lost him completely. No, are you there?
I hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Say that again. I'm sorry.
I can hear you. Okay. Are you guys streaming live, or are you going to be able to edit it?
We are streaming live.
Okay. Well, so the whatever. Yeah. So the goal in the beginning, like when I founded SpyFu, was to be able to help people like me that are starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to help them succeed, and so, we really always want to be able to give back, and it really brightens my day when I hear somebody that I talk to on the street that's been able to use SpyFu to help them, and ultimately that's kind of the goal in life, isn't it? Just to create value for people.
Yeah.
So we have 250,000 customers that come every month and use it for free.
Nice. Hey, can't beat that.
I'm a geek when it comes to data. Like that to me is a carrot when I go to the site and I don't log in and I just throw something in there. I'm like, I got to see the rest of this. I gotta log in. Yeah. I got to use the account. But it's definitely a carrot for me.
Yeah. So, Michael, a question I have is, of course, the industry is continually changing. There's evolving in how people are using search engines, what they're looking for, how we're gaining information, digesting information, and our jobs continually change. Are there any challenges that you see moving forward, or that are kind of waiting ahead for your tool? Are y'all looking to anything that y'all are having to adapt the tool for, or kind of looking out for anything within the industry?
The trickiest part to doing SpyFu is maintaining kind of like getting consistent data, right? Yeah. And so we focus a lot, and I hire a lot to maintain the quality, because what you want to do is be able to measure consistently week over week, month over month, and make sure that all of that roll up data is consistent and accurate.
Right.
And so it's but of course the landscape is constantly shifting. If you've ever tried to like scrape Google, it's become quite a bit more difficult over time and more expensive, and so because that landscape is always shifting, we want to be able to make sure that we're able to say, even year to year, you should be able to look at, what was Black Friday like last year versus this year, right? So we want to be able to like maintain a consistent, though, the search and like the ad formats and all that stuff is changing. It's better if we can get the quality consistent, and so something we're constantly doing. In fact, we actually strategically try to focus like on the U.S. market more so than being really broad, because quite honestly, we're able to QA the U.S. market a lot easier, right? We can actually I can read the page, and we all can. So consistently. We're able to deliver, better quality and consistency because we're tightly focused. I mean, we actually do the UK as well.
Wow. Well, approximately how many sites have you guys? I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
The lag is getting here pretty bad. But how many sites have y'all scraped so far?
I think that the number is in the 48 million. It's like on the website. I could go there. I think it's about 4. So.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Is it cutting out again?
Yeah, it is. It's in and out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. But anyway.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no. 73 million domains. 73 million domains.
Wow.
That's
incredible.
Very nice.
Yeah, so guys, I want to suggest that you go check this out. At least try it, even play with it for free,
right?
If you have to. But definitely a good source for information. And let's see, what do we got next? How about the list builder?
Yeah. So this is actually a really popular portion of the site, right? Like, so what we've done is we've taken all of the contact information that we are mining, for the backlink stuff that we were talking about earlier, and we've rolled that up at like the domain level, and to the extent that we have it, we have quite a bit. We also have like the location information for the business that's behind the domain and so on. And so we made it so that you can, and furthermore, we've also tied that to like our ad budget stuff, and our SEO volume for like at the domain level. So you can say, show me all of the pediatricians in, the zip code 85260 that have an ad budget greater than $1,000, or something like that, right? So if you want to build like a client list that you can like walk to.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. You can also drill into things like the SEO budget. The SEO volume. So you could look for people as a kind of a useful one. I want to see everybody in, the state of Michigan that is, let's see, who's inbound.com by? Inbound is by, what's the platform Inbound? Why am I forgetting it?
.org?
No, yeah, inbound.org, what's their, HubSpot, sorry. I want to see everybody in Michigan that's using HubSpot, right? So they're investing in content marketing, but yet they only get like less than 500 organic clicks a month, right?
Wow.
This is somebody that I can go help out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they're spending $10,000 or more a year on a platform, but are not getting any results. So
that's huge, man.
Right. Yeah. Talk about
Holy
prospecting.
Cow.
Yeah.
You can get pretty specific with it.
Yeah, it's another one of those hidden SpyFu, gems that like nobody that I know of has,
right?
And nobody really knows about, right?
No, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Hey, yeah.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, I was saying it's hard to like launch kind of outside of your like absolute core. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I have to complain about. You guys used to have a list of the most expensive keywords and stuff like that. I used to visit that all the time and seeing mesothelioma. I can't even say it.
Mesothelioma.
Yeah, it was like $150 a click or something crazy. But I used to love that.
It's up to like 400. We still have that. We still have that. Yeah. In fact, it's like our second most visited page on our site, next to the homepage.
Oh, okay.
That's actually under that same top list or list builder area.
Oh.
We've got a whole bunch of those lists. I think we actually may do more of them, because we get pretty good SEO traction on them. So
yeah.
People are always kind of asking about it. I'd like to do things like on the grouping level and industry and location. It's kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's good trivia to learn. You're like, what?
You want to know? You want to know what it is right now?
Yes.
The top CPC keyword.
Yeah.
Cash advance structured settlement. $489.91.
Oh, per click.
Yep.
Holy.
Golly.
Yeah. and then it's business phone systems PBX.
Wow, really?
Man.
Mm-hmm. $470.77.
Yeah.
Who's bidding on that?
Seriously.
That's a good question. Well, you can find out.
You got one hell of a budget.
Yeah. I mean, it's like scary. You feel like when you click, it's who is bidding on this? Oh, here it comes. Hold on.
Oh, you got that data too.
Yeah, of course.
Love it. Love it.
Freshdesk and Nextiva. Who's the most successful bidder? So the UMA, interestingly, is kind of, well, yeah, UMA. Oh, and Vonage. Vonage actually is all
Vonage.
of it.
That's the only one I know.
Yeah, that's the only one I've heard of.
Ring Central has 22 different variations on that keyword that they've run.
Wow, man.
22 different ad variations.
They must be getting some serious ROI.
Yeah.
Right?
Acquisition must be nice.
Yeah, that's, the interesting thing about that is that I believe Ring Central has I think they have an affiliate program. So I wonder, I wonder if they're like, if these bidders are actually Ring Central or if it's an affiliate. I could find that out, but.
No, we don't have to go into that.
I love the data.
Imagine if it was an affiliate, right? That'd be a high dollar, click.
Right.
Yeah. He's obviously making some bank.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah. So we're down to about 5 minutes of the show. Is there anything that you want to touch on about the tool that we haven't talked about yet?
We've touched on a lot of things. I'm trying to think.
Actually, 4 minutes. Sorry.
One thing we didn't talk about is the ranking history, which is kind of like we did talk about the ad history part of things where I talked about how you could see every ad variation and how it's changed. I'm actually looking at that right now as I talk about this who's advertising on this keyword. But we also have ranking history, so you can see who has ranked on a keyword and how they've changed. What content made them go from position 40 to position 4, right?
Yeah.
Or was it content or was it a backlink, right?
Right.
And so that's a useful thing, and we have 10 years of that history as well.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure that the 10 years of history on the ranking is actually that important.
Yeah.
With the exception that we plot those things against every one of Google's algorithm changes ever. So you can kind of see if you have a client that got sort of destroyed by Penguin 2.0 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that would probably help you to figure out how to bring them back from the brink. But
very good. Well, I think we're out of time, man. I want to thank you for being on the show. It's been fantastic.
Absolutely.
And it's great to actually finally get to talk to you since I've been a customer for X amount of years.
Yeah.
9 years.
We definitely appreciate you joining us. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but we definitely worked past it. Great knowledge. If you haven't tried SpyFu, please go do so. Awesome tool. If you're looking for a tool to use, you haven't really gotten into one yet, this is one that you need to try out, especially with our special offer of 25% off the first 3 months. Is that right? Wow, man.
And a guarantee.
If
you're not happy, you get your money back.
Right. You can't pass that up, man. And all the stuff that I learned today about the tool, I'm definitely going to get my hands dirty with it because I've been using it, but I've learned some new gems I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, don't be that guy 29 days in and say, "Oh, I want a refund."
Yeah. No,
because this tool is amazing and it does a million different things.
Right.
It's going to save. If it doesn't save you money in the first week, more money than you're actually going to be paying out in membership, then you're doing something wrong.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Honestly,
absolutely.
Just building an ad campaign out of AdWords. That's going to
very
save
cool.
you a ton.
Well, thanks again, Michael. We really appreciate your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and hopefully we can do it again sometime.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. I had a great time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Guys, thanks for listening to the show. We're back every Tuesday, 3:30 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Me and the Caleb, and we are going to talk about next week. Who's our guest?
We have
Caleb?
Jeff Gassier. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Gassier, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Chief Strategy Officer at StatWax. It's going to be a good show.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. If you missed any part of the show today, make sure you go to searchtalklive.com. Check it out. We'll be posting right after. Or you can go to Spreaker, iTunes. We're all over the place. Check us out. Play Store. Yeah, absolutely. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it today. Hope to see you next week.
Peace.
Search Talk Live is a presentation of the Robert Palmer family of companies.